People at work, kids at play. And the idea is that an architectural practice is as fruitful as much as its people are, people at work are kids at play. And fruitful has to be defined, of course. Fruitful for me is happy people and happy spaces. People, when we say people, we're not just talking about coworkers, colleagues, collaborators, but also clients and communities that we serve. And when we say happy, we mean healthy in their physically, spiritually, and psychologically. And of course, happy spaces are spaces that make people happy, and it's not just physical space; it's the ideas behind it. I like to allude to the Little Prince. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit lagged on the slides. So here we're talking about happy spaces, and we're talking about physical space that starts out as a question, as a quest for different meanings. Meanings like those discussed by the Little Prince, investigating. Ideas like how do we see things? There's this, if anybody knows the reference of the Little Prince, we know that his biggest problem is how the adults understand a sketch of his, which they think is a hat, but he insists that when he was doing it, it was a boa constrictor digesting an elephant. So he is lamenting the one-eyed view that we have of the world that usually develops with us as we grow as adults. And he wants to hold on to this idea where we see things differently. So in 2003, while I was working on a cutthroat international architectural competition with my mentor, Tarek Naga, I received a phone call, and we had been doing sleepless nights, and a friend of mine who was calling was saying, "Where did you disappear?" And I said, "I was at work." And after a hang-up, Tarek Naga looked me straight in the eyes and said, "Are we really at work? Is this what we're doing? We're working?" So I was so puzzled, and I said, "Aren't we working?" And he said, very disappointedly, he said, "I thought we were having fun. I thought we were playing." Play has researchers, even play has researchers, and they identify play or ascribe 4 qualities for play. The first is that it's self-chosen and self-directed. It is something that you choose to do, you call the shots, you have the fun, and you bear the consequences too. The second thing about play is that it's intrinsically motivated, or as Ziad likes to put it, Bala wala shi. This is a song that whenever I listen to, I think of architecture, nothing else. Because he's saying, I'm loving just for love. And this is what play should be. So it's not about credit, it's not about trophies, it's about you really want to do this, you cannot actually live on without doing this. Play is structured, and I am sure that this is something that may puzzle many of us, because when we think of structure, we think of straight jackets and rigidity and so on. But the example that comes to mind for me is stars, the stars in the skies, and how we, before science discovered certain things, we thought that they are randomly sprinkled in the sky. It's not true. It is, and even some people called it chaos, but chaos physically, or from a scientific point of view, is also a higher form of order. There are mathematical equations for how the stars are spread in the sky. And children at play, or kids at play, are also structured. We may not understand the implicit or explicit laws that govern their play, but they do exist. So it is structured. The fourth quality is about imagination, and that's a very simple idea. I think we're all in touch with it, which is the ability to step out of your own reality and pretend, really. So pretend that you're someone or even something that you're not, and pretend that you're with people that do not exist, maybe, in places and times that are just a figment of your imagination. And this is really something that pertains to architecture, because even a building as serious as a hospital, for instance, is not going to work in terms of design unless we can pretend, I can pretend in my age and in my background to be a nurse, to be a doctor, to be a patient, a visitor, the administrator, the janitor, the people that clean around. I have to step into the shoes of all of these people and also think that I'm not in my health, up and down, everywhere in a hospital. This is imagination. So back to Tarek, when he said, what are we doing here? Are we not playing? Or he said, I don't think we're working. And I started thinking about what was I doing before I joined him, and how did I do it? And I found out that I'm doing all the things that we can call the check boxes for doing things, because I was being compensated, I was respected, I was given credit and everything, and everything seemed to be perfect until I bumped into this playground that was called Requiem. It was in a university campus in downtown, and he was working on that. And I went and looked at it, and I found myself that this is something else. This is different than what I was doing. What I was doing may be serious work, but it did not live up to the idea of actual play. I was actually, back then, I was a part of a scholarship we were handpicked out of thousands, really. And it was very important for my career. But the second day, so I used to go to Requiem from 8 in the morning to 4 p.m. And then go to the scholarship from 6 to midnight. 2 days I did that. On the second day, I found myself very uneasy. Like, what am I doing here? I'm missing out on the play back there. So I got up out of my seat and just wrote a note, I quit. Because although it was meaningful and serious, it did not live up to play. So with Nega, after that, I worked on different things, or I played with him on different things in Dubai, in Tokyo, in London, in Cairo, different things. And he is my one and only mentor. He's also a big brother and a father figure. But most of all, he was my mate at play. We really played hard, which people saw as working hard. From that stage on, when I started my own practice, I decided, okay, how can I carry on playing? I looked back at myself and thought, as a kid, how did I play? What did I do? What did I get out of it? But also, who did I play with? I was so scared of picking the wrong playmates, so I worked solo or played. Here I'm catching myself. I played solo for 20 years. And until I thought, okay, because I was worried that I'm going to tell people to play, but they are going to want to work, not play. And then it dawned upon me that we cannot tell, as kids when we were playing, we did not tell other kids to play. There was a playground. The playground made people play. It was just as simple as that. But what is a playground? So a playground, in my opinion, was a place where everyone, absolutely everyone, believes that a hat is not just a hat. It is a boa constrictor, or that's one of the possibilities, digesting an elephant. Because those who didn't believe so just turned playgrounds that were naturally playgrounds into workplaces. And I didn't want to be one of those people. because playgrounds meant freedom, meant camaraderie, meant innovation, the ability to make mistakes, and all of these qualities may not be looked at, appreciated in what we call workplaces. These are all photos from our play, which people call work, each and every one of them. So to continue to do that, my understanding of playgrounds as well is that it pops up whenever one kid decides to play, but also it expands and becomes even better and more fun when you can find other kids to play with. And when I say kids, I don't mean even just human beings. Kids could be people, could be imaginary characters, they could be animals, they could be books, they could be ideas, they could be spaces that are playful. And so here am I now, after many years, thinking to myself, what am I doing every day? And the question every day when I look at myself in the mirror is, am I still playing? Because I think architecture needs less firms and offices and more playgrounds. Architecture needs less people at work and more kids at play. Thank you very much.